Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Mr. Ode, CEO, Export and Sell, Houston, Texas. Let's go into the show straight. And I would like to start with Mr. Nduka Ude. I'd like you to tell me how I can find buyers in the USA. Texas,
Yeah.
it's like, sometimes it's like, I don't know. Do you? Somebody should tell me the figures of Nigerians living in Texas. Let's even start with that.
It's a lot.
Houston,
I think
Austin, Dallas.
Houston has become the Peckham of the
you.
USA. You know how Peckham is in London, whereby
I know
you enter a bus and they are speaking Yoruba. Have people grilling akara by the roadside.
Yes.
That's what basically Houston has become, and there's a huge demand for the things we have here.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I haven't seen in Houston yet is somebody doing bole on the roadside
and fish.
But all those suya and all those things, you got it everywhere.
Oh boy, you just give me idea this Monday morning.
Yeah.
My visa. All right. Okay. So how can I find buyers in the USA via your trade show? This whole dollar earning things is becoming more and more serious by every week.
It's a big issue, and it's not just that it's becoming, it's serious.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, businesses have to be very careful of what is going on now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me explain it, why it's so important for businesses to take this serious, right? If you look at any economy, when you have the purchasing power of the average individual going down, if I, for example, categorize companies in terms of A, B, C, where A are those companies that make the high quality products, B, medium, and maybe C, the low quality. When you have a country where people are getting poorer, you usually see the A companies going out of business. And it's already happening in Nigeria. The likes of Glasgow Smith Line, the likes of Procter & Gamble, the likes of Michelin, all those ones have gone out of the country. ShopRite has gone. Yeah, they are still here, but it's a different, they are just using the name. And that's what's happening. Now, what now begins to happen is as people get poorer and poorer.
And some are already on their way out.
Yes.
Some are making announcements.
Many. As people get poorer and poorer, the individuals now go to buying the C level, the low quality product.
Yeah.
We are getting to the stage where those B and C companies are now going to be fighting with what I'll probably call the D companies, those that make the fake products. And what now happens, if you are a B and a C company, you don't begin to look elsewhere. And when I talk about looking elsewhere, you need to look at a different way to earn money, and that has to be export. If you don't do that, if you look at the statistics is there right in our face. From 2017 to 2021, I think it's Diko Rada. He's now the governor of Katsina. He was the DG of Smith, and then he said from 2017 to 2021, 2 million small businesses shut down in Nigeria. Now, Femi Egbesola, who is the president of the Association of Small Business Owners of Nigeria, said that in 2021 to 2022, 7.8 million businesses shut down. He came back again to say that in 2023, 10 million businesses shut down.
Wow.
So what is it that we're looking at? In 4 years, 2 million went out. In 2 years, 7.8 million. And in 1 year, 10 million. And this is what is happening. Those B and C companies are the ones that are dying. If you are a business and you don't retweak how you earn money, you don't focus on export, you don't focus on consumers in a nation that have the purchasing power, this fate is going to fall on you.
Tell me, look, I may be wrong, but aren't Chinese and Indian companies even positioning themselves as major competitors in these B and C categories that Nigerians have to grapple with?
Yeah, but if people can't buy the product, what happens? People are poor. A bag of rice is 85,000, or is it 70-something thousand naira now? How many?
And some people don't even earn that much a month.
Most people don't earn that much a month. So what is going to happen? Look, there's a company, one of our biggest clients who is exporting, doing very well. You know, somebody we took from zero to almost $60,000 in export earning in under 4 months. She's now in the phase of buying over some of these other companies that were her competitors that did not see the vision. You have massive, so it's not about being Indian or being Chinese.
Or being
if
Brazilian.
you don't, adapt, you are going to die.
Adaptability.
Yes, you are going to die.
So you've told me the what.
Yes.
Now I want to know the how.
Yes. So it's very easy. We at Export and Sell, we've been on this for quite a while now. We started over 15 years ago in the export and logistics business. So we know these things. Now, sometime 3 years ago, we saw our business shift, whereby the import from the US now became lower. So export increased. So we had to focus on it. So we've developed systems, processes, software, solutions that enable Nigerian businesses to find buyers out there, right? And that's what we are going to be talking about on the 6th and the 7th of March. It's a massive event holding at the Oriental Hotel. Over 1,000 businesses have registered, and I can tell you for a fact, these are the 1,000 smart businesses. So if you are a business owner, you have products you sell locally, and you are not registered for this event, your fate... Nobody knows what can happen. It's economics. It's what happens. Look at Venezuela. It's the same thing that is happening in Venezuela, whereby companies virtually got wiped out because of the economic situation. History repeats itself. Those that learn from history are those that will survive, those that adapt. We know all these theories, how things change. A lot of us are economists. It is going to happen. Look at how the Naira has gone. I was looking at the data the other day. Do you know that in 1980, if I had $1 million Naira in my account, it was equivalent to $1.8 million. If I had $1 million Naira in my account in 1980. Now, if I have $1 million Naira in my account, it's about $600. So we have gone from 1.8 million to about $600. You can imagine where things have been.
Just a bit over $500.
Yes.
Oh dear. I was I was having a conversation a couple of weeks ago with my CEO, and we were essentially talking about the plight of, we're just talking about personnel, staff, and I told him, if your salary was 1 million Naira, by this time last year, or by this time last year, you were probably worth $2,000 plus.
Yeah.
Over $2,000. Now, if you're within a year, your salary has gone from over $2,000 to just over $500.
Yeah.
And that is just a reality. And you ask, how bad can things go over such a short period?
Yes.
And we sit down, we do this review, and because probably we're in the media, we have certain access to certain data, certain information, and you have to sit down, because not only are you in the media, you're also running a business.
Yes.
And you are thinking, and you want to give yourself hope. You want to say, okay, there's some light at the end of some tunnel. You don't know, one more turn, and you've gone, you've played. What's this guy in Doctor Strange in the Avengers series, and you've gone ahead of time, examine all 3,200 and something scenarios.
Yes.
And there's none of them that tells you anything's going to get better.
It doesn't work.
It is that messed up.
It does. Let me give a little expatiate on that. A lot of people are looking for places to invest, right? If you look at what has happened in the last few years, especially a lot of people who say, oh, let me invest in real estate and all those things. You buy a house, you bought a house last year for, say, 100 million. Let me say 100 million.
Yeah.
Convert that into dollars, right? Say it was $200,000 at 500. Now you are happy that house has appreciated, is now selling from 100 to 120 million
for your
in a year. Convert it now back to dollars. That property has gone from about $200,000 to about 130 thereabout. You have lost about $70,000. And it's the same in all businesses. You invest in stock. I was reading a story of somebody who sent about 10 million naira invested in stock. The stock appreciated 40%. He pulled it out, converted it. When he did the investment, it was at 700. Now it's at almost. So virtually, he just sent money to Nigeria to lose.
I also read something just last night. This guy has invested in multiple, the top businesses in Nigeria, except for one that does cement. Just one.
Yes.
Everything else, he's at a loss. He's lost his money.
If you are not in a business where you earn in dollars, right? Any investment, any Nigerian, any company, no matter the company you are, you need to start diversifying. Look for something that gets you earning in dollars. It's the only way to go, right? Look, the country is, for those of you who are economics, right? When you see the data of the Nigerian system, I don't want to talk bad about the country, on air, but we all know things are not good. We've removed subsidy on petroleum, yet we are hearing that 1 trillion naira is still being paid monthly on petrol subsidy. So what have we gained?
So do you fear we might be looking at Zimbabwe level economic downturn?
When you talk of Zimbabwe level, in Zimbabwe, how many times did you hear that they are looting warehouses of food? Is that not what is happening now?
So you are saying it's
Look
worse.
at the radio, listen to radio today. They've now had to beef up all NEMA warehouses across the country.
Yes.
Because people are going to loot it.
It was still on our 9 o'clock news.
Yes.
This
situation is bad. As a business, you need to start investing in FX generating businesses. It's the only way to go.
Please, this is where I come to you. So Nduka has laid it out. He's given me a migraine this early Monday morning. The thing is, I'm sitting down here, I'm thinking of B businesses.
Yes.
The A are already folding up.
They have.
The multinationals. The B and C, and maybe the D. What will happen to Onyeka and Sons, who just has some shop? I mean, who has some shop, has to import electronics? What's going to happen? I mean, okay, Onyeka just said make money in dollars. These people are spending more. They are spending dollars and making naira.
Yeah.
What do you do to, what can they do?
So like I said, we have set up a system that is working, helping small businesses revamp their investment, helping position them on how to earn in dollars. And that's basically what we are doing. On the event we are holding March 6th and 7th at Oriental, any business that has products you sell locally now, if you want to learn how to move from being an importer to being an exporter, where you take naira and you get back dollars, that's where you need to be.
What if I don't have any experience? I don't even have anything to sell. I don't,
So we have a program that is part of this that we call export product development.
Okay.
So in that program, we are able to show you various scenarios, run what we call profitability analysis, and from there we are able to show you a profitable product that you can start exporting and earning in dollars. I mean, we've done this with numerous companies, and the record speaks for itself.
Let's get into the heart of the matter. Mr. Ode, we're talking about the elephant in the room, which is, this is what you need to do. This is how to do it. Then you have to answer, okay, I know how to do it, but how can I afford it?
Yes.
Where's the money going to come from?
Yes.
What arrangements? So tell me again what this event, this trade show.
So the event is Export to Wealth. It's basically an event that will teach any business how to move into export.
Okay.
Right now, like you said, there's obviously financing that is needed because export requires some level of finance, and that's why we've partnered with Sterling Bank on this venture. Sterling Bank is
the one customer.
Well, we have their representative here in the studio, Emanuela.
Those are my people. I have too many friends there, and we've worked together in the past, and also I remember when we did something with Arsenal many years ago.
Yes.
Where that was a brilliant experience. Oh, so Emanuela, how are you doing? Let me turn on your mic. When you hear Emanuela, it's not the skit maker, it's not that comedian.
No, it's not.
Yeah, okay, it just took you 2 seconds to know. Emanuela Tijani, she's team lead products and SME marketing, Sterling Bank Limited. So, are you Mrs. Tijani or Miss?
Mrs. Tijani.
So, Mr. Uday, tell us what the deal is with Mrs. Tijani. What's the idea here?
So the idea is that a lot of people, from what we have seen in the past, when we push some of these businesses into export, they quickly run out of capital to continue the export business, right? Because again, depending on the product you are selling and how successful you are, most are successful. They need more fund to grow that business,
to upscale.
Exactly. So that's why we decided, okay, we talked to a bunch of banks, and the Sterling Bank stood out in terms of the interest rate they were willing to offer businesses who are going to be part of this event. And I think Emanuela can throw more light on that.
Just see how Nee is very attentive and pensive. Emanuela, how can I access a Sterling Bank loan to do export?
Okay, I'll start by saying that, and this is quite critical for me to put that out, because when people hear that Sterling Bank has a single-digit interest rate loan, they wonder, what is in it for Sterling? And I wanted to set that context because we've heard a lot of things from Mr. Ode and everyone here, and it looks like things are bleak. But at Sterling Bank, we're willing to place a bet on the resilient businesses because we're committed to fostering economic development. And we know that there are businesses that still stand their ground. We know that there are brilliant initiatives like Mr. Ude's who are willing to support businesses to thrive on the global scale. And that's why we're still committed. The loan that we're bringing to this particular event for those who will sign up for the event, it's actually part of, it's an extension of what we signed with Smidan, the 5 billion naira single-digit interest rate loan. Single-digit because it's going to be at a rate lower than 10%. Single digits meaning that maximum is 9% interest, and that's unbeatable. However, it's important to state that it's not everybody that just signs up for the event. You need to qualify, and that's why Sterling Bank Limited and the Business Hub will be fully on ground at the event on that day to walk participants through whatever requirements you do not meet. We're going to walk you through it. We're going to tell you how you qualify. We're going to walk you through the entire process. And if you want to sign up, I could give you a list of requirements, but this is not the perfect place to do that. So I would say that if you want to qualify for this loan, sign up for the event. And if you want to have a jump start to the application process, just visit exportandsell.com/tbh. We have put some information from Sterling Bank for everyone who is interested in that loan. So that way, I'm not just going to be reeling out the requirements. You go there, you read the requirements, and then there's a form for you to fill for us to get in contact with you, get in touch with you, and start the process before the event. But yes, that's how you can get the loan, and we will be fully available on that day to provide support.
First question to you, Mr. Ode. Do I qualify to attend?
You are not qualified. Well, we are not the ones that give the loan.
No, I mean to attend the event. They don't know, accessing the loan starts with attending this event.
Of course. Am I everybody qualifies, once, the event is really focused on businesses, right? Yeah. But we also see that there are a lot of people who want to go into export that are not yet businesses.
That's what we've been telling them every week.
Exactly.
To go into it.
Yes. And that's why we also have a special program that we call the Export Product Development. And as part of this event, you'll be able to learn how to develop a product that you can export that is profitable, that will give you FX.
Okay.
Yes.
Razak, if you could just help. Okay, good. I just wanted so I could hear you clearly. So Sterling Bank, I want to say thank you for this because it's important. And Nee, it's a conversation that Nee knows too well. He's been building a community, and we're working on this community together of people who were hoping would see the light, which is essentially which was why Nee told me that I have to bring my guy Unduka on this show. I didn't know him coming would be so enriching, and that we'll get two for the price of one. But this whole issue of funding is paramount because people want to do stuff, but they don't know how to access the funds to do what they need to do. So this is very important. So again, you are assuring the Sterling Bank will be there, working side by side with Mr. Uday and export and sell.
Yes.
Correct. 100%.
Taking people by the hand.
100%.
All right. Look, you said over 1,000 businesses have already.
About I know as of Friday, about 1,040 business people have registered.
Okay.
Majority of them
Are
businesses.
businesses.
Yes.
Let me ask you. Let's say I already have a buyer abroad. I mean, you are based in Texas.
Yes, and Atlanta. We have warehouses.
Yes. So let's say I already have some buyers in the US already.
Yes.
What other benefits am I going to get from this event?
Okay, so one of the things you see with export and the way Nigerian businesses do it, I call it more of most people are into what I call passive export, right? Which means they wait until they get a buyer and then they go drop it off with the airlines and then they ship it. That is not the way to grow your export business to where you are doing $100,000-$200,000 a month. The way to grow your export business is having your products warehoused there, and then as you are finding buyers, we are moving those products to the various buyers. And we have a comprehensive system that we've developed that if you have buyers now, but you are looking to expand your buyers database, we have that. You know, we have over 1,500 African stores in the US alone who are looking for products. You know, I always give an example of somebody who went from 0 to 60,000 selling one product to just 4 African stores. We cannot push her to the other hundreds of stores because she can't meet the capacity. So there is a huge demand. That's where you need funding. When you get into this business, you're going to need funding. If you are a business and how do I say, you have any product that you have been struggling with, or you are doing maybe 2 or 3 or 4 exports a month, this is the time to take it to the level where as you are sleeping, your products are selling.
And that's where Sterling Bank comes in with their single digit
expansion funding.
Yes.
I'd also like to further clarify that beyond that particular loan, we have tailored loans for trade and export financing. And everything is what we're going to be. Because when you talk to businesses, you realize what business A needs is not what business B needs.
Exactly.
And what you have for A might not be. Some people are the categories that Mr. Nduka gave us earlier, the A, B, C.
Yeah.
Not everyone falls within the same category.
Yeah, I mean, most of us are still trying to get to D.
Right. No, D. Mr. Nduka said D is for fake products. So none of them here.
Okay, we want you to at least C and B.
Yeah, so we have a bouquet of.
You know how many people want to fake the product?
I know. Fake it until you make it right.
So let me ask you, look, I'm a big advocate for food products because I think basic instinct, if everything goes south, the basic instinct is to feed.
Yeah.
So food. I'm wondering, what if I'm currently into food production? I have NAFDAC, everything. I've packed my product. I've labeled it. How do I know if my product is good to go?
So the biggest problem we see, let me give you a little statistics. If you go into a typical African store in the USA, 80% of the products are coming from the Caribbeans, right? The remaining probably 10% are coming from Ghana, and then the remaining 10% is coming from every other place. And I can tell you, the sad part of it is that 80% of the buyers of those products are Nigerian. So we're basically feeding other economies. And the reason is because those businesses that have these products have not taken the proper step to label and package their products in a way that it meets the US requirement. You see, we always fail to realize that, look, even if I'm trying to sell a product to an African store in the USA, it must still meet the requirements to enter the USA. And that is what we focus heavily. Now, when you come for the event, the first day is dedicated into what we call preparing your product for a new market. Now, what works in Nigeria will typically not work over there. And those businesses, if you have NAFDAC, oh my goodness, you are good to go. All we just need to do is a few retweaking, revamping, repackaging, re-strategizing, and you are good to make money.
9.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio.